Well, I'm not currently employed, but my name is Paul Shaker. I'm a professor emeritus at Simon Fraser University of British Columbia. That's one of British Columbia's great public universities. And I spent much of my career as an administrator, as a dean of teacher education and other graduate education programs. I felt that I had benefited greatly by education as a young person growing up. And when I looked for a career and something to do with my interests, which tended toward the academic, I thought that education would be a nice blend of the academic and the applied. Originally, I had gone to graduate school in history and Asian history, which was my undergraduate major, West Asia. But upon reflection, I thought I'd be happier in something where I could more directly see the results of my work. And so I made a career aimed at improving the quality of teachers in our schools. Arizona State, I think, is emblematic of the notion that there's an effort to drive away the value component of faculties of education from the preparation of teachers and in general from the accrediting and licensing of principals, teachers, and other administrators. The values that are embodied in a strong progressive faculty of education are at odds with a lot of the neoliberal notions that have been circulating since 1980 in American political circles. The idea of deregulation and delicensing, and the notion that economic drivers and free markets should be the controlling value systems in schools, not just in industry and business, is antithetical to the traditional progressive legacy of faculties of education. Well, the state of social science research in general, not just education research, is such that it's subject to being misused and abused because people associate the term science with positive science and the successes we've experienced in natural and physical science and in technology. And the social sciences have not evolved to that level. So when people look for this kind of certainty and objectivity that we see in physics, chemistry, or engineering, in the social sciences, not just education, but any of them, they get situations like we saw in 2008 where the economics profession, another body of social science, was universally caught unawares by the collapse of the markets that occurred. So first of all, we need to get people to have a better understanding that science, the word science, has different meanings depending on the context it's put in. And there is no science of education like there is a science of mechanical engineering or chemical engineering. Our development of education as a science is at a much more uncertain stage. So the application of research needs to be done in more of a political setting with negotiation taking place among the parties involved because we can't rely on laws of physical science and certainties of experiment that we have in other fields of study. So there needs to be a kind of political process where there's wide consultation and open discussion so that compromise can occur and so that a constant attitude of experiment and change and adaptation is present. And one of the things I'm distressed by the discussions I often hear is how little teachers are consulted and how little teachers are engaged with being given what they perceive to need themselves to improve their performance. So our philosophy of how we renew education, first and foremost, and the President said this during his campaign, must be done in concert with the will of the people who implement it, that is the teachers.